Welcome to Community Conversations. I'm your host, Steve Mantis, and my guest today is Charla Robinson, the president of the Thunder Bay Chamber of Commerce. Welcome, Charla.
Thank you, Steve.
So great to have you here on the show.
I'm pleased to be here.
So, Charla, tell me a little bit about your background. Are you a lifelong Thunder Bay resident, or give me a little history.
I'm actually a Dryden girl,
Oh,
and I
great.
came to Thunder Bay for college, and upon graduation from college, I found a job here, and I've never left. So, I've been in both places about the same amount of time now, so I'm not sure if I'm still a Dryden girl or if I'm a Thunder Bay girl.
Yeah, I know as my years pile up in Thunder Bay, I've been here way longer than anywhere else.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure. And so, how did you end up at the Chamber of Commerce? Did you take a business training at school, or?
I did. I attended Confederation College and graduated from their business diploma. And actually, as part of that program, there was a co-op at the end of the final semester, and my co-op was at the Chamber of Commerce. And so that was the beginning of my involvement in the Chamber of Commerce. It turned into a full-time job for me, and then I went on to some other things. And now I'm back as the president, and I've been here for almost 2 years.
Wow, well, amazing.
Yeah.
So, in your role as president, what does that mean? Are you an elected body, or is that a staff position? What's your role there?
The president is the staff position, so basically the chief administrative officer of the organization.
Okay.
We are run by a board of directors. We have a board of 16, and the person who leads the board is called the chair of the board.
Okay.
And this year that's Joe Moses, and he works for the Royal Bank, and he's actually the first chair of the Thunder Bay Chamber of Commerce, or any chamber in Ontario as far as we know, who's of Aboriginal heritage. So we're quite proud of that. It's a real, opening doors for a relationship between the Aboriginal community and the business community.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
That is so good. That
It is.
is so great. So, now give me some background on the membership of the chamber. Who belongs to the chamber, and what areas of the economy, or some of that information?
Well, the chamber, we have about 1,000 members.
Wow.
And it actually pretty much broadly spread across the different segments of the economy. So we have, of course, some of the industrial manufacturing companies are members, but we also have the small mom and pop retailers and service providers, that sort of thing. In fact, 85% of our members are what's considered small business, and about 600 of our member companies employ less than 5 employees. So, it's a pretty significant part of the chamber network is really what would be small business and local entrepreneurs.
And so, what would a local business person, say with only 4 or 5 employees, what is their advantage for them to join the chamber, and what is the cost, and what are the responsibilities?
Well, the advantage of joining the chamber is really a network. So it's an opportunity for networking, developing your relationships, building relationships. There's also some training opportunities. There's large group discounts that you can get as being part of a chamber member that you wouldn't be able to get on services otherwise. There's as well, of course, our advocacy is a large role that we play, and that's bringing challenges to government. When business is having issues, we bring some of those issues to government and try to get them to address the challenge and provide some solutions. So depends on your kind of business as to what benefit is helpful to you. Certainly some businesses are more focused on wanting to build relationships and trying to meet new people and promote their business that way. We also have public events. Just this past week we had our outdoor show. So those sort of public events bring in the general public as well to provide a venue to showcase your wares. Or you may be looking at more of the advocacy. If you're in a specific industry that has a lot of issues with government, you might be looking at that avenue as well. So lots of different benefits depending on what you're looking for.
So, but 85%, I believe you said, are small business. Now, does that reflect the economy of Thunder Bay?
We think it does, absolutely. It seems to be that there's been a bit of a shift in the Thunder Bay economy in the last decade or so, whereas we previously had a lot more large employers, obviously.
Yeah, our mills are all gone, the
those-
sawmills are gone.
Exactly. So those were companies that would have employed, hundreds of people, and now a lot of those companies have gone due to, whatever economic reason.
Yep.
And so we're finding that a lot of those people are now starting their own business and, putting their skills to work as a small business owner to make their living and move forward in the economy. So it's really quite exciting. We've actually seen, in the last few years, we've actually seen a real increase in the number of small entrepreneurs that are starting business in Thunder Bay, which is very encouraging.
It's great. That's great. So how do you have an overall picture of what our economy looks like in terms of kind of economic activity? Is like, most of it the big companies, or is most of it really based right here in terms of our own goods and services that we supply to each other right here in Thunder Bay? How does that break down? Do you know? Do you have a handle on that?
Well, certainly based on the number of employers, the large employers, the companies that employ the most people, most of those would be considered public sector. So we've got, places like the hospital, the seniors' homes, the school boards, the university, the college. All of those public sector are really a large number. They employ a large number of people. And then when it comes to private industry, there's really only a few companies that employ significant numbers of people. So for sure, the shipyards, what's happening at the Port of Thunder Bay, there's a lot of people employed there. There would be a lot of people employed, of course, at Bombardier, at Resolute, and the various offshoots of those, whether those may be, shipping or that sort of thing. But then it really does turn into, once you sort of take those folks, those businesses to the side, it really does turn into small business is running the community. And of course, there's also some national chains that are providing, different services as well that are contributing to the economy. But so it's a really good mix.
Right on. And so now, what are some of the priorities that the Chamber has in the short term and medium term that you're working on presently?
Well, the Chamber is operated under a strategic plan that has 4 pillars. So the 4 things that we focus on for our members are advocacy, so dealing with issues to try to improve business competitiveness, education, and that refers to not only developing relationships between the education community and the business community, but also actually providing educational opportunities for people in business and their employees. We also do a lot of communication, so there's an opportunity for members to communicate with each other, for us to communicate with them, for them to communicate to us, that whole two-way conversation piece. And then finally, networking is a huge part of what we do. So we have a lot of events that basically it's all about bringing people together so that you can meet new people, so that you have an opportunity to build those relationships that are so integral to having a strong business and moving your business plans forward.
It sounds like a really worthwhile organization. My experience is we have so much to learn from each other. And creating the space where we can share that knowledge really leads to much better outcomes down the road.
Absolutely. Collaboration in a small community like ours is so important because when they talk about a 6 degrees of separation, but in a small community like Thunder Bay, it's probably a lot less than six
2 or
people.
3.
Exactly. So, if you can build your network, you can build on each other's network. So, where I may not know someone, you may know someone, and you may be able to say, this person might be able to use your service, or you're looking for such and such, why don't you call this person? So really that whole relationship piece is so important.
And so we're just going to end on that. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. Please stay with us.